Have you ever wondered what happens when you suddenly disappear from someone's life? I'm not talking about distancing yourself slightly, but completely vanishing. No messages, no calls, no contact. When you leave their life, what do they truly feel? In today's world, people have made it a habit to take others for granted. They assume you will always be there. But today we are about to flip this story. When you suddenly disappear, believe me, their world will be shaken. Welcome to this video, which might be the most important one for you. If you have ever been in a relationship where someone took you for granted, where they saw you as just an option, then this video is for you. Today we will talk about a powerful concept, what someone actually feels when you disappear from their life. We will discuss the 9 deep emotional stages they go through when you leave. And by the end of this video, you will realize that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just walk away and never look back. If you are ready to understand your worth, if you want them to miss you more than ever before, comment below, Unshakable Warrior. Because by the time this video ends, you will never be just an option again. You will be a priority. Watch until the end, because we will also reveal a special 10th emotional stage, one that is crucial for you to understand if you truly want people to respect you and value you forever. Let's begin. The first stage, the pain of denial. This is where everything starts. They never expected you to actually disappear. In their mind, you were always supposed to be there. You were the one making efforts in the relationship, making plans and caring. You were the one they could always rely on, until you suddenly distanced yourself. When you suddenly leave their life, it's a huge shock to them, one they never saw coming. You've heard the saying, you only realize the value of something when it's gone. That's exactly what happens here. It's not just the absence of your presence, it's the realization of losing everything you were to them. The comfort, the validation, the person who was always available. Now that you're gone, for the first time, they realize they can't control you. People are afraid to admit it, but when they know someone will always be there, they start taking them for granted. You became their safety net, the person who would always stay no matter what. But when you suddenly leave, that safety net is ripped away and panic sets in. They feel like they are falling. They thought they could take you for granted, but now they have no choice but to reflect. How did I let this happen? How did I lose control? The pain of denial is strongest for those who never truly appreciated you. They assumed your presence was permanent. Maybe they even thought they were doing you a favor by keeping you in their life. But that's the biggest irony. They believed they could give you breadcrumbs of affection and you would still stay. In reality, you were the one holding the relationship together. What should you do? If you truly want them to feel the pain of denial, do not give them any warnings. Do not tell them you are leaving. Do not give them ultimatums. Do not beg for their attention. Just disappear. When you leave without an explanation, it hits them the hardest. It forces them to question everything they did wrong. And most importantly, it makes it crystal clear that you are no longer willing to tolerate being disrespected. When you walk away, do not look back. They will feel it, and believe me, it will shake them in ways they never expected. The person they thought they had control over, the one they assumed would always stay, is now gone. And now they must deal with the pain. The second stage, the emptiness of your absence. Now the story gets even more interesting. After the pain of denial, the next feeling that sets in is emptiness. They never imagined they would actually miss you. In fact, they convinced themselves that even if you left, it wouldn't matter. If they leave, so what? I'll just move on. That's what they thought, right? But when you truly disappear from their life, suddenly, they start feeling a deep emptiness. And this isn't just a minor void. It's a painful realization that slowly eats them from the inside. They try to continue their life as usual, the same routine, the same people, the same activities. But something feels different. Something is missing, and then it hits them. You were the one who brought real meaning to their life. It was you who gave them happiness, warmth, and emotional stability. Now that you're gone, everything feels dull. Why did they take you for granted? When someone takes you for granted, they see you as just part of the background, something that will always be there, unchanged. They assumed you were replaceable. But the truth is, no one can replace you. Now they will try to fill the emptiness. Maybe they'll try to replace you with someone else. Maybe they'll spend more time with friends. Maybe they'll bury themselves in work. Maybe they'll pick up a new hobby. But guess what? The emptiness will remain. Every time they think of you, every time they try to find a piece of you in someone else, every time they search for your name in their phone, they will realize what they lost. What should you do? If you want them to truly feel your absence, leave no way back. Block them on social media. Delete their number. Give them no way to contact you. Every time they try to find you and fail, the emptiness will deepen. Only now will they understand how much they took you for granted. They assumed you would always be there, but as soon as you left, everything changed. Now they will start missing the smallest things, your words, your laughter, the little moments you shared, the emotions that only you could make them feel. But you are no longer there. They now have to live with this emptiness. The third stage, intense curiosity. By now they are drowning in emptiness, and now the restlessness begins. A burning curiosity takes over. It becomes unbearable. Their mind is now filled with one question. Where are they? What are they doing? Who are they with? Now they are desperate to know what is happening in your life, because now you are a mystery, and nothing torments the human mind more than not knowing. In the age of social media, this stage becomes even more painful. They will check your profiles again and again. They will stalk, search, and try to find any trace of you. But you've vanished. And that is exactly why it drives them crazy. They will check Instagram, Facebook, and every platform, just to see what you are doing. But this is where the real game begins. You are showing nothing. No updates, no stories, no posts, nothing at all. And this is exactly what drives them crazy. Why? Because humans hate the unknown. They can't stand uncertainty. The power of silence. How disappearing drives them crazy. As soon as you disappear from their life, their mind fills with questions. Now their insecurities wake up. Have they moved on? Are they with someone else? Are they happier without me? They can't handle this unknown truth, so they desperately start searching for answers. Now they begin gathering information. They will ask your mutual friends questions. They will try to find out about your life from different sources, but they will never openly admit that they care. It's almost sad to watch. Someone who once believed they didn't need you is now restless to know about your life. Curiosity is a powerful emotion. When people don't get answers, their minds start creating stories on their own. Now they begin to believe that you are with someone else, that you are happier than before, that you are more successful, and these thoughts start eating them up from the inside. With every passing day, their curiosity will grow. But this isn't just curiosity anymore. It's becoming an obsession. So what should you do? Make yourself even more mysterious. Go completely offline. Don't give any updates. Don't give them even a single clue about your life. Let them wonder. Let them get tangled in their own questions. Every time they search your name and find nothing, their anxiety will grow. Now all the power is in your hands, and their biggest weakness is their own curiosity. Remember, do not give them answers. Just give them silence. The stage of deep self-reflection. Now we enter the most dangerous zone for them, self-reflection. And this is not an easy process. After days or weeks of thinking about you, their focus starts shifting inward. Now they start asking themselves hard questions. Was I too distant? Was I too cold? Did I push them away? Did I ruin everything? Regret starts settling deep inside them, and this realization is bitter. The truth is, no one likes to admit they made a mistake. It's human nature. But when you disappear, you force them to confront their own mistakes. You are no longer there to comfort them or smooth things over. Now they have to face their actions on their own. Their mind replays every past conversation. They remember the times they ignored your messages. They remember the times they took your feelings lightly. They remember how they made you feel like you were just an option in their life. Now all these moments start weighing on them, because now they realize they have lost something good. At this stage, something interesting happens. They can't even blame you. You are not there for them to argue with. They can't give you justifications. They have no one to shift the blame onto. The only person left to blame is themselves. And that realization is the most painful one. As time passes, their self-reflection deepens. Their regret grows stronger. Now they wish they could go back in time and fix things. What should you do? Nothing. Do not text them. Do not explain why you walked away. Do not remind them of what they did wrong. Let them figure it out on their own. Because self-reflection is the most powerful when it comes from within. The more they question themselves, the more they will realize that everything happened because of them. Let them drown in their own regret. That will be their biggest lesson. The urge to chase you. After spending so much time in self-reflection, something changes inside them. They no longer just ask themselves questions. They become desperate to have you back. Now the situation has completely flipped. You were once the one who cared, who tried, who chased. But now it's their turn. Now there is a deep restlessness inside them. They can't stop thinking about you. They are trying to find ways to bring you back into their life. They are losing their mind, wondering if it's already too late. Now they will send that text, "I've been thinking about you lately." They will start liking your old posts. They will comment on random things, trying to get your attention. They will find excuses to talk to you again. And this is the moment where you have the most power. Now the question is, what will you do? What should you do? Nothing. Do not reply to their message. Do not acknowledge their likes or comments. Do not give them the satisfaction they are hoping for. Why? Because let them burn in their own desperation. What happens if you respond? If you reply even once, the power shifts back to them. All your effort will go to waste. Remember, you have been through enough. You have rebuilt yourself. Don't fall back into the same cycle again. The most powerful thing you can do is silence. The more silent you are, the more restless they become. Let them feel the pain of not getting what they want. That is your ultimate victory. The battle between relief and regret. When you first disappear from their life, they might feel some relief. At first, they feel free. They think, good, now I don't have to deal with them anymore. Maybe they convince themselves they made the right choice. Maybe they try to show they're happy, but this relief isn't real. It's just a lie they tell themselves. In the beginning, everything seems fine. They go out with friends. They meet new people. They swipe on dating apps. Maybe they even go out with someone new. And for a while, they believe life will be just as fun without you. But then, when they are alone, when they sit in their room alone, when they scroll through their phone alone, when the silence creeps in, that's when regret starts sinking in. They realize that this freedom is actually just emptiness. They understand that the people they thought would replace you were just temporary distractions, and now it's too late. Here is your translated text without timestamps. It's just like drinking salty water when you're thirsty. Initially, it feels good, but then it makes you even thirstier. Now they are feeling restless. Now they are feeling your absence. Now they are realizing what they have lost. In today's world, people think moving on is very easy. They believe anyone can take your place. They assume that by putting on a meaningless show, they can forget everything. But they are wrong. No one can replace the person who provided emotional stability and deep connection. This realization shakes them to the core. Now, what do you have to do? Nothing. Let them feel this pain. Let them burn in this emptiness. Even when they are writhing in regret, do not go back. Remember, the initial relief is short-lived, but your absence will haunt them for a long time. That is their punishment. The seventh, the desire to play games. By now, regret has settled deep within them. Now they are panicking. Now they want to regain control of the situation. But the problem is, they have no idea how. So what do? They start playing games. They will pretend to be distant. They will try to make you jealous. They will post pictures with other girls or boys on social media. They will try to show that they are very happy in your absence. Maybe they will post a status saying, "Moving on is necessary," or "I'm happy in my life." Perhaps they will upload a selfie where they are trying extra hard to look happy. But what is the truth? This is just a trick. an unsuccessful attempt to pull you back in, a fake display so that you wonder what they are up to. But now the difference is that you are no longer playing this game. You have risen above these childish tactics. You no longer pay attention to their little tricks. They think they can make you jealous and pull you back with small manipulations. But when you don't react at all, their entire game falls apart. Now they will try every possible tactic. They will throw subtle taunts, make passive-aggressive comments, exaggerate their happiness on social media. But nothing will work because you no longer give importance to these things. And this will drive them crazy. They will crave a reaction from you. They will want you to respond. They will want you to post something to make them jealous. But you must stay silent. Ignore their strange posts. Do not pay attention to their pictures. Do not fall into their trap. Remember, this game only works if you agree to play. The moment you stop responding, their entire control disappears. They have lost. The eighth, the heavy burden of silence. Silence is one of the most powerful things in the world. When you disappear, when you do not respond, your silence itself becomes the biggest response. The absence of your words, your messages, your presence, it says more than you could ever say with words. Now they have nothing left but their own thoughts. And this is where their real suffering begins. Because silence is heavy. It is unbearable. It makes them question everything. Now they remember those moments when they ignored your calls, when they thought it wasn't necessary to reply to your messages. They were so busy with their own lives that they didn't give you time. And now they would do anything just to hear your voice once. Silence is the biggest punishment for people who always want to be in control. They will hope that you initiate contact first. They will want you to ask, what happened? They will want you to seek an explanation. But what happens if you don't? What if you disappear completely, leaving them to wonder if they have lost you forever? Then they go crazy. They cannot understand it. Every passing moment becomes unbearable for them. A minute without your response feels like a year. A day without hearing your voice feels like a century. Silence makes people crumble. In today's world where everyone is constantly connected, getting texts, notifications, likes, and comments, when you suddenly disappear from their world, it shakes them to the core. They had become used to the constant noise of this relationship. Whether it was love, anger, or arguments, something was always happening. But now there is only silence, and silence hurts. So make it your strength. Don't speak. Don't explain. Don't justify. Let them bear the weight of their actions. Let them realize that losing you is more painful than any argument. They will soon understand that your absence is their biggest punishment. The ninth, the fear that brings them to their knees. Now everything begins to fall apart. Now fear starts to consume them. This is the part they never imagined. They never thought they would actually be afraid of losing you. They assumed you would always be there, that you would never leave, that you are the kind of person who always comes back, no matter what. But now you are gone, and this realization breaks them. Now their biggest worry is not their ego. Their biggest worry is not what people will think. Their biggest worry is only one thing. What if I have lost them forever? What if they have truly moved on? What if they are happy with someone else now? This thought shakes them to their core. They cannot even bear the idea of seeing you happy with someone else, laughing, talking, enjoying life. Just the thought of it makes their stomach churn. And now they start to care. Now they just want you back. Now their ego, their pretenses, everything is gone. And this fear brings them to their knees. Now they are ready to do anything to get you back. Now they might message you randomly saying they miss you. Now they might suddenly show up at your door. They could do anything just to have you back. But what is the truth? The truth is, by the time they feel this fear, you have already moved on. Now you don't need them. Now they have no place in your life. Now you have reclaimed your power and identity. Their fear is real, but now it's too late. Even if they fall to their knees, beg for forgiveness, or plead, you will not give them back what they lost, because you have taught them that you are not an option. You are not just one of the choices, you are a prize. And when someone loses a prize, they realize it's worth too late. The 10th, the realization of emotional freedom. This is the stage where everything truly changes. The realization of your emotional freedom. When you disappear, you are not just running away from them. You are moving towards your freedom, emotional clarity, and peace. Many times in relationships, we become so entangled in proving our worth and making the other person happy that we forget about our own needs. We forget that we have the power to choose, to walk away and demand better for ourselves. But once you disappear, once you reclaim your place, you start to see things clearly. Now you no longer need their validation. Now you don't care about their thoughts, their feelings, or their wants. You have realized that your happiness is no longer tied to them. And that is the most powerful thing you can ever feel. Your emotional freedom. And here's the best part. They feel it too. They realize that you are no longer the person they once knew. Now you are stronger, wiser, and more confident. They can sense that you have moved past them, that you no longer need them to feel whole. And that changes everything. They are still stuck in their old patterns. But you have outgrown them. You have freed yourself from the cycle of seeking their approval. And now, their opinions don't matter anymore. Own your emotional freedom. Don't fall back into old patterns. Don't give them the satisfaction of thinking they still have control over your happiness. You have moved far beyond that. And that is your biggest victory.